Cheetah.
No. That's what I
And welcome back. This is now the second game of the ACT Gridiron League between the Centurions and the Spears. They're currently going through the coin toss. Joining me is Jason.
Hello, back again.
So, Jason, what can you tell me about these two teams?
Spears are a powerful offense. They tend to run a bit of a rugby-style offense, while the Centurions, low on players, will just try to stifle them as much as they possibly can. Not too familiar with their offense, but it hasn't been that effective.
They started to get it going last week during their match against the Wildcats. They put on a ton of points in the second half, so hopefully they can build on that. And the Spears will be looking to consolidate their spot at the top of the table. Cool. The Spears have won the toss and they elected to receive. So we'll get a good look at their offense early on, and we'll see if the Spears defense can carry on from their dominant performance last week, holding the Wildcats to no points. So we'll be looking for the Spears to bring a lot of blitzes early on defense. Throughout this season, they've been doing a lot of double A gap blitzes with their linebackers. So we'll look for that to continue. The Spears have not been as dominant as they have been in past years early on in this season, so it could be an interesting match. So the Spears have two players back to receive, and Centurions getting ready to kick. The Spears are the gold team and Centurions are in purple, just for those wondering. It's a kick deep down the middle. Bounces just before the returner, who doesn't run to meet it, and he fumbles the ball but picks it up. Gets reasonably good blocking, but that fumble really hurt his chances of a good return, and he only managed to get 15 yards and out to about the 26-yard line.
Team can only hold its block so long, so when you get a fumble, it slows the play down. The blockers have to block for a bit longer, and it causes things to break down. The defense started to get into the backfield, and they just tackled the return man before he could get too many yards.
So looking at the Centurions defense, it looks like they have 5 linebackers and 3 linesmen, 2 cornerbacks and 1 deep safety down the middle.
Linebacker number 8 trying to pump up the defense, hoping to get big plays.
Spears snaps the ball, it's given to the running back, who's got a huge lane there. Massive hole, gets to the sideline, breaks the safety's tackle, keeps on going, cuts inside, beats the man. Number 23 keeps on chasing, and 23 brings him down. That's a massive gain there for the Spears. Huge lane opened up, and the running back had the speed to exploit it. And they're down to the Centurions' 15-yard line.
That's not what you want on your first defensive play. They brought all the blitz up to the inside. There was nobody on the outside. Cornerback tried to make a tackle. running back just cut straight in, nowhere to go, and just went straight up.
Yeah, the safety had a real chance to make that much shorter gain, but just missed the tackle. Sold in a huge gain, but good chase by number 23 for the Centurions, managed to track down the play. Looks to be illegal formation. Oh no, false start. False start, 5 yards.
A bit jumpy there. After the long gain, they just can't manage to just hold on to it. Offensive line was a bit jumpy, and that'll push it back.
And they snap it to the fullback, who runs in, is met immediately and stopped in the backfield. That's just an example of the Centurions bringing those blitzes up the middle and just hitting the running back as soon as he gets the ball for no gain. So 2nd and 15.
We've seen this all season, the Centurions bringing those 2 middle linebackers to blitz, stuffing the A-gaps, nowhere for the inside run to develop, but they're leaving those outside sidelines wide open for a run.
The Spears line up with 2 wide, 1 tight end, and an ISO formation. So he drops back to pass. 51 gets huge pressure, fumbles, forces the fumble, tries to jump on the ball. Massive sack there. 51 just comes straight through unblocked. Early indications are it's a Centurions recovery. Excellent play there. 51 forces the fumble and recovers it. And there was a flag on the play, but that gets waved off. So great play by Centurions there.
Defense is executing so far. Number 51 coming around the outside, unblocked, just hits the quarterback as he's dropping back. Nowhere to go, just lets go of the ball, and there it goes. It's not the type of loss you need right there after the long run, but hopefully they'll get the ball back.
So it looks like this is running a fairly similar defense to what we saw from the Firebirds in the last game. Actually, though, it looks like they might be going 5 line. Oh no, it looks like they've got a lot of standing players there, so trying to confuse the offense. Centurions run it up the middle, met immediately, forces the fumble, pole pops out, and the Spears recover. It's not what the Centurions needed. The running back took the handoff, never secured it properly, and it just got popped out in first contact.
2 fumbles in a row. They're proving that teams just don't have a great grip on the ball. Not sure if there's anything to do with the weather. It's just overcast. Ground's a bit slippery, but I have no idea why they fumbled it 2 times in a row. Maybe just need to work on their ball security.
Yeah, it just looked like he didn't take the snap cleanly there and just never had full control of it as he entered went through the line and just popped out in first contact. So the Spears keeping the same formation. And it's a halfback dive to the right-hand side, but well covered by the Centurions, limited it to about a 4-yard gain. Still decent yards from the Spear side. They should be pretty happy with that.
Not every play goes for over 10 yards. Sometimes you just need to mill out the short 5-yard, 4-yard gains and just hope to pick up a first down, especially in this red zone or almost red zone situation.
Well, the Centurions have changed their formation up a bit, going to more of a split back than the ISO they've been going. Centurions being an outside blitz unblocked, but the number 7 swings out wide to the right and manages to get some space and manages to pick up about 4 yards. Decent play there by the Spears. Another 4-yard gain, bringing up a 3rd and 3.
They're still bringing those inside linebackers and hope to get in with the outside linebackers, but against the Spears team, they've got speed and they can get it to the outside. If they can't contain them, it's going to be a long day for the Centurions.
Looks like the Spears have a big fullback back in, and they've gone back to the ISO formation. And they take the snap. Looks like a false start against the Spears. Yep, that's a false start, 5-yard penalty. Spears won't be too pleased with that, bringing a 3rd and 3 back to a 3rd and 8, which is much harder to get.
Seems to be a bit of lack of discipline on that offensive line. They're very jumpy. Like every time the quarterback comes up to the huddle, they seem to be moving before the snap or almost anticipating it. They just need to watch the ball, watch the snap count, because if they don't, they're going to be caught off by the defense and they're going to get in the backfield.
So the Spears kept the same personnel out there, but they drop back to pass this time. Unblocked from the outside again. 15's open in the left-hand side for a touchdown, but there is a flag down on the play. It looks like this is against the Centurions, though, so it looks like the touchdown stands, and that's the first touchdown of the game to the Spears.
See, that was a good bit of their display there. Long touchdown down the left side. Defense almost got there for the sack, but quarterback stood in the pocket and unleashed the pass.
Yeah, the receiver just got... she was just straight up too fast for the cornerback there. Got behind him, and an excellent throw by the quarterback. Now, we saw in the last game that the Firebirds like to go for the extra point, but Spears like to go for the 2 points in these situations. So they go for the fullback. No. Fake the fullback dive. Quarterback keeps it, and he runs the option plays, passes it out to the running back, and he's in for the double points.
So now the score is 8-0. Spears have scored the first opening points. Spears will now kick off to the Centurions. Centurions hoping for a bit better return after they managed to fumble the ball after recovering a fumble.
So yeah, the Spears have looked reasonably decent. They're getting good pressure from the outside, but they've given up a couple of big plays now, so something to watch. And we'll see if the Centurions offense can get more going. I'm sure they would be extremely disappointed fumbling right after they got given the ball back by the Spears there. This is the first chance we get to see the Spears kicker. We'll see if he's got a big leg on him. Kicks it spiraling and bouncing around the 30-yard line, but picked up at 20, picked up with speed, and he's running, but he outsteps himself and just falls over after about 17 yards, and they bring it up to about the 37-yard line.
I don't think the return man there was ready to pick up the fumble. He just couldn't get the ball ready in his hands, and it almost seemed like he confused himself with the step there. His feet just fell out from underneath him, and he fell.
So the Spears are showing 6 people coming on pressure. We'll see if they follow through with that. There's a tight end in motion. They're on a stretch play outright, but there's just nothing going there. Excellently read by the Spears player, who just tackles him for a 2-yard loss.
So that was a 6-man front. You had a defensive linesman on each of the the offensive linesman and on the tight end. They just had nothing there. The D end was easily able to peel off and just get the tackle there.
Yeah, that was nice work by the D end, just containing the outside there. See what the Centurions come back. They've gone to the pistol formation now, the Centurions. Tight ends in motion, they go for the end around, but he's blocked by his own linesman who gets pushed back into the backfield immediately, ruining any chance the play had of being successful, and he's tackled for a 1-yard loss.
The Centurions are really getting nothing on the ground. The defensive line of the Spears is just holding them at all approaches, filling all the gaps, giving the offense really nothing to play with. We'll look to see them go to the air more just because they can't get that ground game going right now.
Yeah, we'd expect them to go to the air on this play, being 3rd and 12.
Called a timeout now. Spears have just called a timeout, looking to, I think, sort out their formations and maybe to give the bigger guys a bit of a rest.
Yeah, there was a bit of confusion on the last play if one of their players going off late, and it looks like they had 12 men on the field this time. It's one of their players just goes off now, so... Oh no, not 12 men, perhaps they just wanted to switch up personnel. Maybe bring on a player who's better at rushing the passer in these situations. But it looks like they've got 12 men out in the field at the moment, and they've just... So what's happened was number 90 had an equipment issue, and he went off the field to get it sorted out. That's why they called the timeout. So back to the game. Tight end in motion. He runs back for the reverse end around. They flip it out to number 15, who had a big game against the Wildcats last week. He runs to the outside, gets the edge, shows good speed, spins back on the inside, and gets a huge gain there. A nice running play there. The fake to the tight end really fooled the defense there, and they managed to get a 17-yard, sorry, my apologies, 22-yard gain.
So on that play, they faked it twice before even giving it to the primary receiver, the primary back, sorry. And there he goes. He's off, breaks a feeble tackle, runs down the sideline, tries to go for the spin, and unfortunately is tackled there.
Yeah, the Centurions running back's really a player to watch in this match. He had an excellent game last week, and he shows good speed. And they hand it back to him again. He gets through the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, and he's in the open space. He cuts back, gets hit, and finally brought down. Excellent run there. He gets about 14 yards on the run. So yeah, number 15, continuing from last week and showing some good early runs. And it looks like a Centurions player is down, unfortunately. Hopefully he's not too badly injured.
What we saw there was just good power football. The Centurions' offensive line were just winning in the trenches, and it gave number 15 a chance to run free. Broke a couple of tackles himself and took the ball upfield. He's got good play on the inside run now. They've started to be able to handle the Spears defensive linesmen, and they're rolling now.
So number 22 got injured on that play, but he limped off, so hopefully it's not too serious. Oh, they fake it to the tight end again, and then they go to the fullback, who gets a little bit of room, and then taken out. And 42 comes in extremely late there, but looks like no flags are going to be called. And it's about a 3-yard run.
Looks like the Centurions are really leaning on that triple option. First option, give it to the tight end. Second option, give it to the fullback. And then there's always 15. I'm feeling he's going to get most of the handoffs today just because he's running so well. But we can only see, we might even see the quarterback keep it on a bootleg or something like that.
So Centurions do give it to number 15. He gets a little bit of space up the middle and manages to squeeze his way forward for about 4 yards. Actually, no. got a bit of an unfavourable spot there, only 3 yards.
Ball popped out there at the end of the play. He needs to keep a hand on it. Luckily that time his knee was down. He just needs to hang on to the ball. The last thing we need is the Centurions need is for him to fumble it again, as the Spears are very good on capitalising.
Yeah, ball security is always key in these sorts of games, and you never want to turn the ball over like that. So they pitch it out to number 15, but number 26 from the Spears has just had excellent contain on that play. Read the play, tackled him for a 2-yard loss. Nothing the running back could do there, just met as soon as he got the ball.
It's just good old-fashioned football. You see the man with the ball, everybody tries to get him. There's no illusions there. Number 15 is just caught in the backfield. There was nowhere for him to run. 3 men come into the backfield and just take him down. There's nowhere for him to go. Loss of yards.
That's interesting to see. It looks like the Centurions are going to punt it from here when they're not that far out, so it's a bit of an odd decision to go for the punt. Maybe they just want to pin the Centurions deep, and his kick was just off target and it's gone out of the end zone for a touchback, so a bit of a weird decision to punt there. It looks like they managed to get 7 yards on the punt.
I don't see why they don't go for it there, or at least try to get for the coffin corner and kick it out on the 1 or 2 yard line. It is a tricky kick to make. He did attempt for it, but in that situation, it's probably just best to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, you might not go for it if you're extremely confident your punter could make the kick, but it backfired on them, and they only managed to get 7 yards from that, and they've turned the ball over, so let's see what the Spears do when they get their chance in offense. Going back to the ISO formation, and they hand off to the running back. Excellent blocking up front, managed to clean up a couple of Centurions, but a good read by the linebacker who cleans up the play for a 4-yard gain.
Massive block by the fullback, sees the linebacker coming down, just nails him, hits him, puts him clean on his back, and just creates a lane for that running back.
There you go. I'll jump on.
Yeah, that's just what you want out of your fullback. You want them to just come through that hole and just smash the first linebacker in there and move them, and that's what he did. Unfortunately, another linebacker came and made the tackle for them, but good work there. And they put their tight end out wide now. He's in the slot. And they do a toss out wide to that side.
How have we got to that?
And they run
Spears
up,
in this.
and
Oh, yeah.
he manages to get the first down, so a solid 6
Yeah,
yard
they
run
did well
there.
last week, didn't they?
Number 7 was real patient on that play. He could have taken
How long have we been playing?
and tackled by the defenders, waited for his block to be
Yeah.
set up, and just followed it to the end. No
Yeah.
need for a big play, just need that first hit.
So it looked like on the majority of plays, the Centurions defense has held up all right. It's just been a couple of big plays that have hurt them so far. So we'll see how they go on this one. They continue with 3 down linemen and 5 linebackers. Looks like they're bringing heavy pressure up the middle here, but it's a false start by the Spears. Sets them back 5 yards, and it's 1st and 15. So yep, the slot receivers come back in at tight end, so we'll see how they go. And it's a halfback run. Oh no, sorry, play action. And they pass it to the tight end on a shallow cross, and he picks up the ball, gets good separation, manages to get close to 12 yards there.
No one's done anything yet? No one's scored yet? Okay. Good.
The linebackers bit on the play action there, and then that left the tight end open and in a lot of space to get the yards. And there's a flag on the play. It's a personal foul against the Centurions. He grabbed the
So the
face
Spears
mask
were beaten the
during the
wild.
tackle, and not allowed to do that, so a 15-yard penalty from the end of the reception. That's a huge gain there for the Spears.
Didn't look like the Centurions were the only one fooled on that play, were they, Rory?
Jesus.
Goes for a long play.
Oh, yeah.
Tight end's happy for the
22-0
catch,
last week,
but
wasn't
with that penalty, it just pushes them back further. Centurions need to be a bit less aggressive, hopefully not force as many penalties. Spears drop back to pass, and they throw deep. That's number 80 with the reception.
Yeah, and he's caught the ball with his knee down. That's why he didn't get tackled. So he counts as down, and it's about a 9-yard gain. And there's a bit of a scuffle going on in the middle there between the two lines.
62's a unit.
Looks like number 23 was a
Spears,
bit unhappy
huge.
with something.
One right there. 62 on the Spears.
So this brings up, well, they've only given him 8 yards, which is a bit of an unfavourable spot, I reckon. He looked a lot closer to that first down marker, but so it brings up 2nd and 2. See, the Spears got some good early pressure on the first drive, but quarterback had plenty of time in the pocket on that last play. And they've changed up their formation again, and they've gone to the split back formation. And they hand off to the fullback on a dive, and he just powers his way through there for the first down. So good hard running by the fullback, did exactly what you want, picked up the first down, 4 yards.
The last thing you want to do as a defensive linesman is enrage those big guys in front of you. The second you start getting them mad, they're just going to make it a hard day for you. Saw the DT there trying to pick a fight with one of the Spears offensive linemen. It's not going to be a good day for you. They're just going to run over the top of you for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Spears keeping the same play. Fake fullback dive again. Quarterback keeps it, and he's got lots of room there. And he takes it out near the first down marker. We'll see if they get it there. Defense fooled by the fullback dive again. Quarterback keeps it, and he's just got enough speed to outrun the linebackers to the edge. And it is now quarter time. So yeah, it's been a reasonably close quarter. Centurions had an excellent sack fumble in the first quarter where they got the ball back, but then they immediately fumbled, giving it back to the Spears, who capitalized off this mistake and went ahead to go up 8-0, and that's the score at quarter time. And the Spears player did in fact get the first down on the last play, so 1st and 10 from the Centurions 26-yard line. So far, the majority of the Spears plays have been run, so we'll look for that trend to continue. And he tosses it out to the running back, but he reverses it to number 15, who's got tons of room, just breaks tackles, gets through, almost gets to the end zone, and it's a touchdown for the Spears. Excellent trick play there. One of the Centurions players almost snuffed it out, but was just a tad too slow, and they flicked it out to the receiver on the reverse, and he's gone up the middle.
Even I was fooled on that play. I was sure that the running back was tackled in the backfield by number 37, and then he just reversed his field, went up, made a big run there.
Yeah, excellent play. All the Centurions went to the right, and they bring it back to the left, and the blocking on that side's excellent. Gets 10 yards almost untouched, has to break one tackle, and then he's through the end zone. And now it looks like they'll be going for 2 again. So and that's two trick plays in a row have fooled the Centurions, and well, that's an unfortunate penalty for the Spears, making those 2 points just that much harder to get by taking a delay of game penalty, bringing them back 5 yards.
Sometimes in that situation, it's good to back off a bit. Opens your play variety up. You don't just need to go for a dive or fullback dive. You can run a bit more of that trickery that we saw on the play before. But hopefully it won't be just out of their reach now that they've moved back 5 yards.
They lined up. Looks like they've got no wide receivers out, just double tight end, and they've gone for the play action pass. Tight end's open in the end zone, completely unmarked. Gets the easy catch, and it's 2 points.
That puts us to 16-0 at the beginning of the second quarter. It's a good first couple of scores here, and the Spears are rolling.
Yeah, the play actions are just killing the Centurions at the moment, and that last trick play completely caught them off by surprise. They brought in the wide receivers, put them at tight ends. Centurions were sure they were going to run it, fake the handoff, and then the tight ends just completely unmarked in the back of the end zone.
Every little bit of play that the Spears are giving to the Centurions, they're biting on. They're biting on play action. They're biting on trick plays. They're biting on double handoffs. Centurions just need to keep an eye on where the ball is, keep track of it, and try to make a play on it. 35 to kick off.
There's some confusion with the Centurions as number 99 is laid onto the field. The kick's deep down the middle, and he's caught it with his knee down, which means he takes it from the spot. Their kick went to the 15 yards, and that's where he caught it, and that's where the offense will be starting on. Should be a little bit disappointed with that.
This is the same player we saw recently on a kickoff trip himself on the juke. He must be upset with his play at the moment. Poor guy. Hopefully he'll recover after this. It can't be easy for him at the moment.
Yeah, he's just got to put those behind him, and hopefully the next chance he gets, he improves.
That's a bit of Marty Schottenheimer football there. You just don't let the last play bother you and keep moving. Try to make the next play a big one.
Yeah, Centurions line up with a bit more of a slot receiver than a tight end, and he motions out wide. And movement up front, but the ball's not snapped, so we'll see who moves first. It looks like the referees just blew the whistle there. Bit of a mistake by them, so it's just replaying the down. No flags or anything. We'll see if the Centurions continue to run the ball 15, who's been their main positive on offense so far. And the slot receiver runs out line, and they fool the defense, calling the fake hut. And then 15 gets the ball. He's in space. He's got blocks up ahead, and he gets the first down and gets way more than that. Gets 22 yards on the run. Showed off his speed and quickness there.
Looks like on almost all the plays, 22 is motioning out. Defense is biting on this play. Both teams have been fooled by play actions, fake handoffs, motions. Just need to be a bit more disciplined with the play. Defense rolled out a bit to cover 22, but 15's the man at the moment. You've got to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, the Centurions haven't really looked to pass that much so far, so you've got to be expecting run. And they did a lot of fake snaps there, and it looks like they fooled themselves. And it was actually an illegal shift. Number 22, who's been on motion most plays, just did an illegal motion there. 2 plays in motion at the same time, so it was a 5-yard penalty. Replay first down. So lining up again. if they run a similar play. They're trying to get the fake huts to stop the Spears D-line, but it looks like a bit of a false start there. And it's a false start against the offense, and they've almost lost all the yards from that huge run they just made through silly penalties. They're trying to do the fake snaps to fool the Spears defensive line, but it appears they're fooling themselves more than the Spears.
Getting irritated.
They're getting real jumpy. With this motion, a lot of the players won't automatically detect when the snap is supposed to be. Quarterback's making a lot of hand signals. It's confusing their own players. Hopefully they'll get some positive yardage here.
And they got off that time. It's the play action. Number 19 gets heavy pressure and he hits the QB as he throws the ball, forcing the throw off target, and it's incomplete. But there is a flag down on the field.
I think it'll be on unnecessary roughness, roughing the passer, but the defense.
Sorry about that. It's not unnecessary roughness on the quarterback. It's in fact ineligible man downfield. So one of the Centurions blockers just went past 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. That's not allowed to happen. So 5-yard penalty, first down, and they've backed themselves up in a hole here. 1st and 25. Do you see them getting out of this, Jason?
Not with their passing game. It looks like nobody knows if they should be downfield, upfield. Only got 2 men wide. Let's see if they pass it here. I'm guessing they will. 25 yards back. And again, it's a handoff to 21. Fake handoff to the tight end, handoff to the fullback.
And decent play design there, but the Centurions coach is not happy with how that play turned out, yelling at his players on the field. Obviously expected more than a 6-yard gain from that one. And we looked a little bit upset with the effort from some of the blockers there.
Well, not every play's a touchdown. A lot of coaches need to remember that. If you're getting angry, your players are going to get upset at you. They're not going to execute as well. And we'll see the coach getting more vocal if this keeps to be a trend.
So Centurions continuing, and they fake the fullback dive. Give it to the halfback, who's got space again down the left-hand side. Good blocking by the receiver. He breaks a tackle. He's away down the sideline and runs out of bounds near the 42-yard line of the Spears, and that's a first down and a massive run again. 15's having a monster game already, probably getting close to 100 yards.
He seems to be the bright spark of this offense. A lot of the players are just not executing as well as they possibly could be. So many false starts. But number 15 is just trucking through them. He's making up for all the penalty yards. And honestly, I think he's just giving himself more yards with all these penalties.
Yeah, he's looked very strong. He runs extremely hard and he's very fast as well. They go for the heart. They do a fake handoff, but it takes a long time to develop, and the quarterback gets hit immediately after the fake. So about a 1-yard loss there. Bit of a weird play, that one.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that formation. Everybody seemed a bit too far back. The fake handoff didn't happen until way into the progression of the play. And the quarterback, I'm surprised he wasn't hit sooner. He was just stuck in that backfield, not moving. It's crazy.
Yeah, he was just standing there waiting to get hit, and then he did get hit. It was just a bit of a weird play. And they go into the pistol now. He drops back to pass. Extreme pressure was a screen play. The receiver's put under heavy pressure as he goes to make the catch, and the ball's a little bit behind him, and he can't handle it, and it's incomplete. And it looks to be a bad injury for a Spears player who's gone down in a lot of pain.
That's good sportsmanship there. First person over to come have a look at him is one of the Centurions coaches. Hopefully he'll get back up and be okay, but it doesn't look probable.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened to him that much, but he went down like immediately after the play ended. But he's gotten back up. He's got a bit of a limp, but he's walking under his own volition, so that's always good to see. He's getting a few handshakes from him, and he's jogging off, so maybe just tweak something, but it's all looks to be okay now. So this brings up 3rd and 11 for the Centurions. We'll see if they can pick up the first down. We'll see if they go to the ground with 15 or they go back to the air like they did in last play. And he passes the handoff to the tight end on the end around. He's got lots of space there. Gets close to the first down. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like they've spotted it short. I think the coaches might be a bit disappointed with the tight end there. He could have taken the contact and tried to pick up those yards, but it looked like he ran out of bounds before he got the first down.
With a defense as big as this, sometimes you do get a bit afraid. You opt out not to run as much, and the last thing you need in this situation is to turn it over again. The first time we've seen it really handed off to that tight end, and they were really expecting the number 15 or the fullback to run, and that gave him those couple of yards. Looks like they're going for it on 4th.
Yeah, we'd be expecting a fullback dive or a run to 15 on this play, probably up the guts, only 4th and 2. And they do hand it to number 15. They collapse around him, but he powers through. Excellent strength there shown by the running back. Gets 4 yards, gets hit almost at the line of scrimmage and just powers through an extra 4 yards and gets the first down.
That was a solid run there on 4th down. Need a couple of yards, pick up the first down and a couple extra. Number 15, he's really reliable on these big yardage needed plays. And he's been golden all this series.
Yes, you know there's a number 15 who plays for the Lions called Golden Tate, so subtle reference there by Jason. Ooh, and it looks like it's going to be another false start against the Centurions. They can't be happy with these continued penalties on first down, sending them back in the down markers.
Well, that's what you see from an undisciplined team from time to time. They just constantly force those penalties, but 15 has done a good job for making up for them, and let's hope that they'll keep the penalties down as the game progresses.
Yeah, Centurions have not thrown the ball down the field at all so far, so we're looking for either a short pass or most likely they'll just hand the ball off to 15, who's in such good form at the moment.
When you have a running back like number 15, sometimes you don't need to pass the ball. Any run with him could be a long pass. Here we go, pass broken up by number 20.
Just as we say that, they do attempt the play action, challenge him down the field, but very little separation by the receiver. Decent pass by the quarterback. It's definitely in a catchable area, but good positioning by number 20 to break up the pass. This brings up 2nd and 15.
Spears' coverage hasn't been tested much this game, but it's looked pretty solid. They've always been there around the receiver, around the ball. They're really powering towards the ball. As we've seen with the run, even if they'll get past the line, we'll see all 11 men trying to chase down the ball carrier.
And they hit the ball, and there's a toss out to number 15, who looks like he's got the edge on the defenders. But no, good work by number 1, who has excellent flow to the football there. Just stops him from getting to the outside and breaking a big one. But a 5-yard gain there, so 3rd and 10. And it looks like the Spears have a large number of people near the line at the moment, so could see heavy pressure on this play.
Well, if you've got to make yards, you're going to make it with your star player, and number 15 has been their star player so far. Spears are going to stack the box, try and stop him behind the line. We'll see if the Centurions might actually run a play action here to try and fool them. Nope. Straight away, they go for the run, and they get stopped behind the line. Takes a couple of men to bring him down, but eventually he does come down.
Yeah, they fake it to the fullback, but no one's fooled by that. And then number 15 tries to get away. He breaks the first tackle and then gets taken down. Looks a little bit shaken up on the play, and it appears his jersey's ripped. And number 19 for the Spears is also down. So number 15's being told to go off the field because of a ripped jersey. And number 19 for the Spears is down on one knee. Looks a little injured. Hopefully it's not too serious. See, this looks like the Centurions have a couple of backup jerseys, so they should be able to get him back out there. I'm sure they would hope so.
Looks like number 15 will now be wearing the number 25. Just another equipment timeout. Number 19 is now walking off the field, sort of struggling. Let's hope that he's all right.
Yeah, it's not looking too good. He's got a pretty heavy limp there. So that's an injury timeout, so both teams are just having a little confer of what they're going to do. It'd be interesting to see if the Centurions punt it here like they did before, or whether they decide to go for it in this part of the field.
Last time they punted it, they ended up punting it out of the end zone, resulting in a touchback for the Spears. Hopefully, if they go for that coffin corner kick, they do get it out within the last 5-yard line. They may even go for the long pass here and hope to get the first down.
But as we say, they're lining up pretty deep. It looks like they will be punting it. Number 69 back to punt, and number 78 back to receive. And he tries to pooch it right into the corner, and it goes out near the 10-yard line. So that's a much better punt there. Managed to get about 25 yards on the punt, but stuck the Spears back in their own 10-yard line.
So the Spears will be starting off on their 10, but it looks like the Centurions offense will be without number 15, maybe until their next series, just because he's lacking a jersey and we can't allow a player onto the field without one, unfortunately. Hopefully the Spears can capitalise after having a long field ahead of them, about 90 yards to go for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a promising drive by the Centurions, getting some nice yards, but just unfortunately unable to finish it. Got stalled by penalties and they had to punt. So Centurions continuing with their ISO formation. And they do a toss out to the running back who's got plenty of space. The fullback's struggling to keep up with him, but he does, and he gets to the edge, and it's 15 yards at least down the sideline. Good play there, and just a flag flies in extremely late. Possibly looks to be against the Centurions for unsportsmanlike conduct.
These Centurions are really undisciplined by the looks of it. They just keep drawing penalties that don't need to happen. We haven't seen any big hits or any accidents. They all seem to be just penalties from not performing at the right actions. Sorry.
So yeah, that looks to be 15 yards from the end of the play. That turns what would have been 15 into 30, so they effectively doubled the yardage there just by coming in late. You're not allowed to hit players after they've gone out of bounds, and they've clearly gone out of bounds, and the Centurion players just come and hit them. So in some cases, I assume it's hard to stop, but they've got to at least make an attempt to pull out the tackle. So they fake it to the fullback. Quarterback's got plenty of room to run. Flips it out wide to number 7. Number 7 manages to break a couple of tackles and get the first down. Good play design there by the Spears.
I don't think that was a design toss. It looked more like almost a rugby play there. Gets in open, about to get hit, sees that number 7 can get a couple more yards, hands it off to him, and as we see, gets a couple more yards on the ground.
Yeah, it turned what would have been about 6 yards into, got another another 4, so brings up the first down. Centurions linebackers look a little slow getting to those outside runs.
Well, that's what happens when you just blitz up the gut most of the time. It's hard to get from being blocked by a center or a guard to getting to that outside, leaving those open sidelines for number 7 to run along.
And it's a high snap, but he takes it easy. He drops back to pass. 74 gets pressure. 37 loses track of 15. 15's down the sideline for a touchdown. Excellent pass and catch there. The pressure was just too slow to get to the quarterback. And that's a 45-yard touchdown pass. So there's a couple of nice big passes for the Spears this half. And that brings the score to 22-0. Possibly going up 24-0 if they get the 2 points.
On that play, the cornerback just had little to no coverage, came way too far down. Looked like the pass rush may have gotten to the quarterback. He didn't notice it whatsoever. He stood calm in the pocket and unleashed a hell of a pass, and it went straight to number 15 for the touchdown.
Yeah, the Spears quarterback's known for having a very strong arm and being quite accurate. He's also quite good at running. He's one of their star players on that team. But number 37 just lost his man there. Looked like he got turned around and just couldn't locate his man again. So it looks like they're going for 2 again. It's a fake end around to the tight end who just strolls in for the touchdown, completely fools the defense. And again, we see these trick plays continuing to work for the Spears as they go up 24-0.
I've used the term biting on things a couple of times during this game. They ate all of it there. They thought they were going to run to the right-hand side, left-hand side, nobody there to tackle the tight end. He just walks in for the 2 points.
So what does it make it now? What is it now?
So despite the Centurions looking reasonably strong on offense on a couple of occasions, they're just starting to get gashed by big players on defense recently, and it's costing them, and their offense has been stored by penalties. So the scoreline's a lot further apart than what the game would actually indicate.
And we're seeing the players get frustrated. Number 37 throwing his helmet as he came off the field. This can't be good for defensive players, knowing that they're going to be beaten like that, both in the run and up in the air. Number 10 gets a feasible run right there. Still not too happy that he was tripped up on the play. Looks like a bit of a fight starting there between 99 and one of the Spears players.
24-0.
So another flag there. It's just Centurions players look like they're getting extremely frustrated with how their game's turning out. Let's look to see the call on the field. Number 99 was definitely involved with that, but not sure if he got hit or he hit someone else at the end of the play there. And it was 99 got called for unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's 15 yards. So yet again, this we'll see if that's 1st and 25 or the 15 yards comes all the way back and they get 1st and 10. Oh, looks like change is staying there, so 15 yards has been enforced onto this drive, and yet again the Centurions have something longer than a 1st and 10 due to penalties.
They're just acting undisciplined. In the end, it's just a game, so there's no need for anger, there's no need for fighting, and it's just hurting your chances of winning the game.
Correction, it will actually be 1st and 10, but still they've lost a fair bit of field position because of that. The chains just moved quite late then. They do the fake out again, and it goes to the running back, number 81, who gets tackled almost immediately as he gets the ball. Just good pressure there by number 35 on the outside. So as he tried to bounce to the outside, 35 just took him down, and that's a 2-yard loss. I should mention that that player who just ran the ball is actually number 15. He just has a new shirt now.
Number 15 now having the number of another great Lions receiver, Calvin Johnson, also known as Megatron. Let's hopefully he can make some beast plays like the great Lions receiver.
Yes, he's obviously must be a Lions fan. And they go back to pass the ball. Reasonable blocking, good play. Number 10 manages to hold onto the catch even though he's hit as he catches it. Good play there, a nice complete pass. 10 gets separation. Safety drives down on the ball, but number 10 holds on as he takes the hit. So a solid 10-yard pass there, bringing up 3rd and 3. So seems like Centurions have got themselves back into a manageable situation.
Number 10 needs to watch it, though, with that celebration there. It was a bit unnecessary. We'll see if that'll penalize them in the future.
It was a bit much for the run, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like it wasn't even.
No.
Yeah, so just so everyone knows what Jason's talking about, you can get flagged for taunting or excessive celebration after a play, so just got to watch out about how much you celebrate. And they're using fake snaps again, and it goes to the running back who gets to the outside now. Number 18 tries to make the tackle. He monsters number 20 over, just bulldozes him, much like Jared Hayne against the Chargers in the preseason.
Yes, as we now know, former rugby league star Jared Hayne entering the NFL. Hopefully some of our boys will join him, like number 81, or as his number will commonly be, number 15. Hoping to bring the big plays from Australia across the seas to America. As we now see the Centurions lined up in their normal formation, wide receivers wide, and hoping to pass it again. Handoff goes to 81. And he's muscling through and gets tackled behind the line.
Yeah, it looks like the Spears have really keyed in on the running plays now. They're putting a lot of pressure on number 81. As soon as he gets the ball, he's usually getting hit.
The 6-man line's having a big part of that. We've got 6 men coming for the quarterback, coming for the running back, and hoping to stop him behind the line. That's a big problem, though, once 81 gets past the line, as there aren't as many people to stop him.
So 2nd and 11 now for the Centurions. They snap the ball, they go to hand it off, but number 81 fumbles the handoff, but managed to recover. It's got about 2 yards then. And it looks like Centurions have taken a timeout after that play. That was extremely weird play. Took a long time to develop. Maybe the quarterback could start running towards the running back if he's going to stand back that far, because if you're just holding the ball there for like 1-2 seconds, making the play very hard. And just the handoff was a bit weird.
On those play actions and fake handoffs, you really need to hide the ball so the defense doesn't know where it's going or who it's going to. The quarterback can hold on to that ball for as long as he needs, but if he's going to hold on to it for that long, he needs to do a better job at hiding it, do a better job at selling the play of holding it on, and needs to get the ball to 81 a bit faster.
Yeah, and just for your point about the line, they got a 6-man line, and some of the teams in this league have pretty undersized lines, but all the linesmen in this are big guys.
For you.
So, six-man line again. It looks like they're bringing heavy pressure now. They fake the handoff. 49s gets unblocked. He doesn't end up getting the sack, but the quarterback has to dodge him, which leaves enough time for number 39 to just come through, clean up the QB. And that's a huge sack there, going back almost 10 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Spears' defense looking oddly reminiscent to the 46 defense, a defense that the 1985 Bears used to run. A big run-stopping defense, lots of men in the box. It was known for being burnt deep on the pass, though, so we'll see if the Centurions, if they can have enough time in the pocket, if they'll attempt to pass it. Spears lining up with 3 men deep. Looks like they're planning on a big return here.
Yeah, a lot of players back to help block for the return. It's a bit of a mulligan kick, but bit of a really strange decision there. And the Spears get helped out massively by the ref there. What could have been a touchdown for the Centurions after one of the Spears players went to pick the ball up, but then they blew the whistle before the Spears player had full control of it. They thought he did, and he's fumbled it, and luckily they called him down. What do you think about that one?
So we've got an odd returning formation, we've got an odd punt, and the only way to accompany that is an odd recovery. It reminded me of Jared Haynes' punt return on the weekend. He just went to come in a bit too early and just muffed the punt. Luckily, they were able to recover it. The kicking team weren't able to pick it up, and the Spears get the ball at about the 35.
Yeah, I don't think the coaches would never really want one of their returners trying to pick that ball up. It was bouncing in a really unpredictable way, and he fumbles the ball, but it looks like they've given it to the Centurions, though, despite the ruling. I suppose they realized they made a mistake, and because the Centurions player was the first to pick the ball up after the whistle had gone, they've given the Centurions the fumble. Looks like a couple of linebackers just came down for the Spears. Pretty heavy pressure. One of the linesmen got knocked down. And it's yet another false start for the Centurions, bringing it back to 1st and 15. And again, they've just set themselves back with penalties.
After the half, we're going to have to come back with these penalty stats. It's crazy. I have a feeling that the Spears have gained more penalty yards against the Centurions than they have rushing yards or passing yards. We'll just see how much the Centurions are going to be crippled by these penalties at the end box score.
Yeah, it's killing their momentum on offense so far. They just haven't been able to get much going without getting the penalty thrown. And they fake it to the tight end, a bit of a missed time play though, and they hand it to the fullback who manages to power his way forward for 5 yards. So a reasonable play, even though they mistimed the play action.
I'm not too sure why they're still running the ball. There's not much time left in the corner. I'm surprised they haven't gone for the half. They've called a timeout now. We'll look to see them throwing deep to try and score before the end of the half.
Yeah, we'll see. They've had a couple of pass attempts, but only one completion. The Spears line's getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and the receivers just aren't getting much separation deep.
I don't know if it's a problem with the route calling or a problem with the receivers, but the Spears are just matching up. They know the plays they're running, the route tree, and they're not getting any separation.
It's also worth noting that number 18 is back for the Spears. He's very deep for a safety, and the cornerbacks are standing almost 10 yards off, so they're obviously expecting a deep pass. And the tight end's in motion again. They snap it, fake the handoff. Number 28 just loses contain. It's a designed run play to the quarterback, who gets a nice amount of yards there and gets out of bounds to stop the clock. So, and it's half time by the looks of it.
They brought 8 men on that play, and you could tell the quarterback got the ball, and the second he got it, he was sprinting out of there. It's halftime now, and as the teams go to the lockers, the score is
24 Centurions and 24 Spears, sorry, and the Centurions are 0. That's a bit of a weird play call heading into the end of the half. You would have thought they would have gone for a big pass there.
Yeah, you would have, but at the rate the Centurions are going at, they're getting all the false start penalties. I don't know, and with number 81, they probably could have got their best chance. Unfortunately, they keep it being a detriment to themselves, pushing themselves back, and at the moment it's cost them all their points in the first half, leaving them with a 0-24 first half.
Yeah, so a game sort of characterized by the Centurions' penalties and Spears having a lot of big plays there as well. So just to reiterate, the score is Spears 24, Centurions nothing, and we are going to take a break now, but we'll be back for the start of the second half.
You're filming the third, I'm doing the fourth. Frost, he quit. Ryan, he quit.
And welcome back to the second half between the Centurions and the Spears. Spears are currently up 24 to the Centurions, nothing. Joining me again is Jason.
Hello.
Looks like Centurions are set to receive, so we'll see if they can get some early points on the board to try and bring this game back. 35 has a short step, but he's got a pretty good leg for that. Caught at the 15 by 21. He manages to tiptoe his way down the middle between a large number of blocks, and he gets a pretty good return there, up close to the 50-yard line.
Just looked like the Spears are trying to take out the blockers there. Weren't going after the man with the ball. Saw a couple of offensive linesmen getting pushed pretty hard. Number 18 in particular was trying to power down to the back of the line, to the back of the end zone, and rather than going after the ball carrier.
Yeah, there were some big hits on the blockers there, but the runner just got through there pretty much untouched. So Spears keeping off their six-man line. Just worked for them in the first half. It drops back to pass, and number 25 gets open. The Spears standing like 10 yards off from the start of the play. 25 just runs a short hitch, is open, but just drops the pass. Very disappointing there.
I'm surprised that he dropped it. It was thrown over the top of him. There was only about 5 people rushing. Each of them picked up well, and it was just a bad pass, no reception. Hopefully they'll have better results on their next play.
Yeah, it just went right to the receiver, got both hands to it, and just put it down. We'll see. There's a lot of room underneath for the passing games. The Spears corners are just standing so far back. And they run it up the gut with number 81, who gets to the 50-yard line. Nice solid run there, but not much yards to be picked up. About a 3-yard game. So the Spears have looked very strong up the middle, but they've looked fairly weak down their left-hand side. There's been a couple of huge runs to the left-hand side by number 81, who was 15 earlier on, and we'll see how the Centurions go in this play, keeping with the same formation. They hand it off to number 81 again, who gets stopped by his own blocker, who gets pushed almost 3 yards into the backfield. Not what you want on a running play.
Big man, number 70 there with the tackle. It's a lot of man behind you. If he gets a hand on you, you're probably going to go down. It doesn't matter how talented you are.
Yeah, just got to be disappointed with the blocking on that play. The left tackle on the side I was going to just got pushed back right into the backfield and just almost tackled the running back himself. Centurions line up for a fair few people back to block for the punt return. 25 got a nice clean release, and it's a deep punt, but it bounces backwards. Got a lot of air under that punt, and it was reasonably long, about bounced about 25 yards from where he kicked it, and then bounced back. So maybe they're hoping he goes for a bit more power in that situation than getting so much air under it.
And what they attempted after the punt went after the bounce, one of the players tried to bat it forwards. If the player was in the air, however, he could have worked and put the team back. However, he was standing stationary. When he touched it, the ball was deemed dead at that point.
Yeah, they lost about an extra 7 yards from letting the punt bounce backwards like that. Usually the gunners try and run down there and stop that. So Spears get the ball, run it. The line's just pushed back, right? The runner has no room, tries to reverse field and is taken down. Excellent work there by the Centurions defensive line and linebackers.
The Centurions just filled all the gaps there. Nowhere to run on the first option, so he tries to cut back and get to the outside. Nowhere there also, and he stopped, only for a short loss.
Yep, and the Centurions have gone to a 2 tight end set, and they toss it out to that side. There's a decent block there by number 42, who's had a pretty decent blocking game, but the cornerback just comes around the outside, they're able to make the tackle.
Well, that's what you see when the cornerbacks are playing down. It did result in them getting burnt for that touchdown earlier, but it's helping them with their run game. They're stopping the outside run, which is going to be a good benefit for them, forcing the Spears to only pass.
This brings up 3rd and 10 for the Spears. We'll see if they make it. This is a key stop for the Centurions defense for them to have any chance to get back into this game. Centurions don't look to be ringing that many people. Flags fly everywhere as every single umpire throws their flags, and it is a false start for 5 yards. Obviously a lack of communication there with the Spears. It's interesting to note that number 15 is currently outside the huddle, so obviously they're probably going to call the same play. Or if not, he knows exactly what he's doing, so let's see what happens. Centurions only rush 4, number 42 with an excellent blitz pickup. 18 throws it on the run deep, and number 29 comes down and makes a play, batting the ball away. Excellent read there by number 29, the safety, who read that play and came down and broke the pass.
He had a fair bit of time to set up there. The pass was in the air for a bit of a time, but it was a good play by the D-back, stopping the pass, batting it out of bounds, and that'll bring up 4th down, and the Spears will more than likely punt.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of a strange decision to go for it, because if they they fail to make it. That gives the Centurions excellent field position in their half of the field. But it does look like they will be going for it, and they've split 4 receivers out wide. And they've gone deep on number 7's on a wheel route. But good coverage there by number 58, and an excellent effort by number 7 to try and come back to the catch, but it's been ruled incomplete, and they've turned the ball over. Centurions have excellent field position here as they look to score their first points of the game.
It almost looked like a catch there, but I think he had to secure it with the ground, thus deeming it incomplete. It would have been a bloody good catch, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have. It was excellent effort as he tried to get back to his ball, but just good coverage there by number 58. Matched him step for step and made it extremely hard for him to get a clean grab at the football. The Centurions continuing with the same formation they've been running all game. He drops back to pass, 25 on the hitch. He catches it this time, gets tackled immediately, but that's an easy 5-yard gain there almost every time there. Maybe they start doing this to try and get the Spears cornerback to play up a bit to try and open up the deep passing game.
It looks like the Centurions are keeping at least 8 men into block. They can have 5 receivers. They can have that. But they're bringing in those extra 3 people to block. Obviously, they're afraid of their quarterback getting hit or being pressured. They are getting the short pass, but they're yet to get it deep.
And they do a fake handoff to a tight end and then hand it off to the fullback, who manages to get about 1 yard there. Not a huge gain on the play. He was tackled fairly soon after he got the ball, and it looks like they've called it as no gain. But yeah, so if the cornerbacks are giving the receivers that much room, they might as well just take the underneath pass every single time. I know they're behind, but there's still plenty of time to get back into the game. Still midway through the 3rd quarter. This is definite 4-down territory here as well. They fake it, handoff, and that is just not what they wanted. He just gets taken down as 3 Spears just rush in on him, and that brings up 4th and 13. So they've gone from what was a 3rd and 5 to 4th and 13, which is just not what they wanted at all.
I think 44, the quarterback, took the right option there. With 3 Spears around him, he probably would have been cut in half if he had stayed up. It was a good thing he dropped down to his knees. Otherwise, that sack could have been more than just a loss of yards.
Yeah, wise decision to just tuck the ball up and not have any chance of there being a fumble or anything, but it looks like they're going for it on 4th and 12. Tight end motions, they flip it to the running back, who's just met instantly. 28 was just all over that play. Takes him down, and that's a turnover on downs, and the Centurions fail to capitalize on their good field position.
Maybe the luck was all in that first jersey. Maybe 81 hasn't got any of his talent in it. We'll look with the Spears getting the ball on about the 38-yard line and hope to drive down for their 4th touchdown of the game.
Yeah, the Centurions' defense was pretty good last drive, so we'll see. We'll see how they go on this one. They snap the ball extremely quickly after getting to the line. Number 7 goes to the right. Blocking was not particularly great, but he manages to pick up 5 yards, so good run. And there's a flag late on the play. No indications as of yet as to who it's against. Didn't look to be the area of the tackle though, so looks to be related to the line. So we'll see what's cool. So the Spears did a chop block, which is illegal in this league. You're not allowed to take out someone's legs when they're already being blocked. So that's a foul, and it is a 15-yard penalty. Brings up 1st and 25, which is a huge down to overcome.
Yeah, they're pushed back in their own red zone. Big penalty there. A lot of the time it can be an accidental play. Just poor communication by the linesman. They look to have a heavy formation here too. ISO. 7's up the gut. He's tackled about just before the 30.
Yeah, decent blocking up front on that play. They opened up a little bit of a hole for him to get through, but no blockers got to the second level, and the linebackers just took him down for about a 5 to 7 yard gain. Interesting formation switch up. They've put the tight end in more of a slot position. They hand off to the running back again, but is met pretty soon after getting the ball and just held to 2 yards, which is all fine from the Centurions' point of view, as their Spears are way behind in their down, and they need about 3rd and 18. Oh, my apologies, 3rd and 15. So Jason, you would expect the Spears to pass here?
Well, they haven't had much problem with the pass just because of how shallow the cornerbacks are playing. They seem to have backed off on their linebacker sugar blitzes, but we'll look for them to throw here. Pass. 18 breaks a tackle. And he throws a pick.
Number 18 gets pressured immediately. Number 99 had a chance to get the sack but couldn't bring him down. 18 gets to the sideline and somewhat surprisingly decides to throw the ball in play. None of his receivers even near the pass, and he throws it just straight to an opposing linebacker. It's picked off and it's returned down near the 22-yard line. It's just a bit of a head scratcher there. Usually you'd want the quarterback just chucking the ball out of play there.
I'm not too sure if the quarterback knew what he was supposed to do in that situation. Quarterback also playing safety today, so I'm guessing he's a multifaceted player. But hopefully the Centurions can capitalize on this good field position. They haven't so far.
Yeah, their defense has played quite well this quarter, and they're giving the offense every opportunity to put up some points, but they've been unable to do so far. They usually pick up a couple of first downs and then just not able to continue their success. So they've only got 21 yards to go. We'll see if they can get that.
The team just seems to be out of rhythm, undisciplined. They can't get consistent yards, and when they do, they force a penalty. The one gleaming aspect they've had was number 15, and he seems to be playing worse than he was before. After this half, but maybe they'll go to their short passing game, so as that has gotten them some yards this half.
It looks like they've got a new QB in, actually. Number 44 is out of the game at the moment. And it looks like number 12's in. They fake it to the tight end. They give it to the fullback, who has a fair bit of room there to work through. Number 18 comes in and lays a big hit on him, but he still gets 8 yards. That's just what the Centurions needed to try and get some points.
Number 22 was previously on the sidelines just working on an injury. I think he's coming in as the starting quarterback just after managing his injury and hoping to play the rest of the game.
Yeah, he's got his helmet off and he's looking at his elbow of his throwing arm, so perhaps he hurt his elbow when he got sacked. And it looks like encroachment by the Spears there. They just got fooled by the fake snap that time, went off the ball, and that's a 5-yard penalty for the Centurions, and they get a first down. And it's 1st and 10 from about the 11-yard line, so see if the Centurions can punch it in from here.
You got to think, you're only going 10 yards, you've got 4 plays. I don't think the Centurions have a kicker, so they're going to be going for it on 4th down. Let's see if they can get it. Let's see if they can put some points on the board against the Spears defense.
Yeah, definitely their best opportunity of the game, but the Spears defensive fronts looked formidable all game long, and they've really keyed down the run in this half, so we'll see if the Centurions have to pass. No, they run to 81 again, but again he's just wrapped up in the backfield. There's just no room to run at the moment. And it looks like there's going to be a flag on a Spear at the end of the play who came in and slapped one of the Centurions' helmets. I didn't see too much in that, but I suppose it's not a good idea to just come in and hit a player's helmet at the end of the play.
There's a reason why it's called unnecessary roughness. Just because it's so unnecessary. A player is defenseless or the player's ended and you're just willing to hurt them, it's not going to result in anything good for your team. So it's half a distance to the goal for the Centurions.
And as their D-line makes a good play, they just wipe it away by just a silly penalty like that. It's interesting that the Centurions have managed to cut down a lot of their penalties heading into this half after they just stalled all their drives by penalties in the first half, and the Spears have started to commit some penalties. And there's lots of confusion there. There's a double fake snap there, and then it looks like the ball snapped when no one was expecting it. It was extremely weak and fumbled on the ground. And it appears the fumble looked to be recovered by the Centurions recovered the fumble. It's just what could have been neutral zone infraction, but it didn't look like any of the linesmen jumped because of it, and then the snap was just really weak.
Yeah, it looked like the center there was trying to catch one of the Spears defensive linesmen offside, getting a quick snap off. The quarterback wasn't expecting it, and none of the refs called it. It looks like the Spears were just able to get back onside before the snap was called.
Yeah, it's weird. They're definitely trying to get them called for neutral zone infraction, but they just all jumped a little bit late, so they hurry for the ball. High snap, fumbled, picked up, and then taken down for a 3-yard loss. Centurions, all sorts of issues there. Took ages for the play to get called in. And then they hurried to the line, poor snap, and then a fumbled handoff after that. And then I guess they did good to recover the fumble and not lose that many yards. They only lost 3, but that brings 3rd and 10, so he drops back to pass. 25's open in the end zone, and they've just missed him. Probably their best chance for a touchdown all game. 25 beats his man. The safety's not there, and it's overthrown.
Well, they still got 1 play to go. Don't count them out just yet. But with that awkward snap, the penalty, or the center trying to draw the penalty, it's just pushed them back further. They had a good scoring opportunity. And again, the Centurions are just being a detriment to themselves.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're outplaying themselves at the moment, just thinking a little bit too much about stuff. And they do the fake snap again. They try to hand it to the running back, but again he's met, but he breaks the tackle. He gets to the outside, gets close to the goal line, but then just gets taken out of bounds. A Spears player just looks like he tackles a Centurion. That's
looks like the Centurion was holding on the play, and the Spears player was just trying to wrestle through it. I think that's what the flag's going to be for.
Yeah, there was a flag for holding, it looked like previously, but it looks like they may get a flag called on the Spears player there as well. Just turned what could have been a turnover on downs, and I think they've maybe kept the Centurions off it. Oh no. It appears to be a turnover on downs. The Spears defense is leaving the field, and so is the Centurions offense. And they've waved off the flag. Somewhat surprising there, I think. Certainly it was either holding or unsportsmanlike conduct at the end of the play.
Yeah, it just looked like the D end of the Spears and the right tackle of the Centurions were having a bit of a scuffle. I have a feeling that the right tackle of the Centurions lost that fight. If you're going to grab somebody, I wouldn't grab one of the Spears defensive ends. They're quite large boys and they know how to fight.
Okay, and the rest of blowing the whistle, and it's a timeout to the Spears. So it looks like maybe they weren't comfortable with how the Centurions lined up, or maybe they just weren't comfortable with their own play. So called a timeout to sort that out. But yeah, perhaps the rest saw the penalties might have little effect on what actually happened, so they just waved them off.
When you're stuck on this goal line position for the Spears, sometimes it's best to take the timeout, think, because the last thing your team wants to let in is a safety. The team's been playing well so far, not too many stops for losses, but if something were to happen, a bad snap, a bad run, it could cost the Spears 2 points.
Yeah, that's right. But they haven't had very many negative plays during this game. They've had a couple of... The Centurions' run defense has been pretty decent overall, but there's been gashed by a couple of big plays. But let's see how they go here. And he drops back to pass on the play action. Number 9 is wide open, breaks the tackle, beats down number 10, and just monsters forward through the tackles up to the 20-yard line. And a big gain there, 15-yard pass. And that was just... no one was covering that guy.
Sometimes you need the big tight end. A lot of people don't want to cover him. You know, a linebacker might be a bit too short. A cornerback might be a bit too small to tackle him. And as we saw there when he muscled the corner to the ground, the big man has big hands and made the big play.
Yeah, he just came off unmarked, and then the corner went to him late after he caught the ball and just went a bit too high for this guy and just didn't have the upper body strength to hold on. So they drop back to pass. 74 gets good pressure, hits the quarterback, but an excellent catch there by number 15. Reasonably tight coverage there, but just a good route by number 15. Gets open and he gets the first down. It's a nice 11-yard pass there. And that is quarter time. We are now heading into the fourth quarter. Spears currently have the ball, and the score is currently Spears 24, Centurions 0.
Even though the Spears have the lead, it looks like they're going to be leaning on their passing attack since the Centurions are stacking the box. They've been effective in this pass, so I'm really not surprised. They keep running those 11-yard passes and just keep milling down the clock, getting down to the field. The Centurions won't have much of a chance to come back.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. There's not a lot of time left on the clock, and having not scored at all this game so far, you would think that they don't have the time left to be able to just come out and score at least 24 points in the last quarter. But it's still good effort by the Centurions in this second half. They've looked a lot better. They've improved defensively. They haven't given up a point yet this half, and they've been able to stop the Spears offense from getting anything going. They drop back to pass. He's looking deep. Number 80 had a little bit of separation and tries to bullet the pass in there, but decent coverage in the end. He just couldn't fit it in there. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
When you first read, number 7's well covered in the flat, and then you look deep to see your second reads. Number 90 going up the seam, and he's well covered. There's not much you can do. Luckily, that pass wasn't intercepted, and it just fell harmlessly to the ground.
Yep, and it looks like the Spears are trying to step up their passing game now. They've stopped running the ball as much, and they've split their tight end out wide. Just as I say that, they go for option play. He options it to number 7 on the outside, who's got plenty of running room, and he picks up around about 9 yards from the looks of it.
That was a nice little bit of improv there. I think it was a designed run play. It was a bit of a bad snap. The quarterback decided to take it himself. Saw that he was about to get hit, passed it to number 7. We've seen that a lot from the Spears, a lot of this option, pass, handoff, pitch type of play. And it's very familiar to how a lot of rugby players would play the game.
Yeah, they've had lots of success with that. Because unlike what we saw in the Wildcats game earlier, the outside guy manages to always stay outside the QB, and when they pitch it off, he's usually in plenty of room, so they run it fairly effectively. They had 4 receivers on this play. 74 gets lots of pressure, tries to bat down the pass, can't get it. It looks like there's going to be a flag down in the secondary as number 80 from the Spears got taken down, but didn't see what that was for. I didn't see how it happened. I don't think the pass was in the air, so I don't think it should be pass interference, but we'll see.
Any type of contact downfield after 5 yards, you're not allowed to hit the receiver. And it looked like 58 just put 80 on his bum pretty much, so he didn't have much of a chance to play at the ball, and it's a penalty going to the Spears way.
Yep, so it wasn't pass interference. Looked to be called a legal contact. So there's a 10-yard penalty. And first down for the Spears. Showing heavy blitz up the middle by the Centurions, but they drop back. Huge pressure on the QB, but number 80 again is unmarked. He manages to push forward and fight for the first down, made about 5 yards after contact there. He's just a bit too big for them to handle in the secondary at the moment.
Centurions are not doing a great job covering those tight ends. Even with the extra linebackers dropping into coverage, they just can't handle them. Number 90 and number 80 are having a pretty good game, to the point where number 58 had to take number 80 to the ground to just take him out of the play.
Yeah, it looks like the cornerbacks are picking up the outside guys, but the linebacks are playing zone, which leaves just the playing zones through the middle, which leaves the outside just open for the tight ends or slot receivers. It's a quarterback draw on this play, and he's got lots of room, makes about 10 yards, and just defense was not expecting that at all. Made almost those whole 10 yards untouched. Good read by the quarterback though. He looks to be a strong runner, but there is a flag down on the play, and it's holding on the offense, so that's coming back 10 yards. And if you're following the game and you want to get involved in Twitter, head to at ACT Gridiron on Twitter if you want to get involved in the game. So as we can see, they got about 1st and 20. But the Centurions have decided to take a timeout. They probably just want to make sure they stop the Spears on this play because they've given themselves. So there's a lot of room to do it, 1st and 20. So call the timeout just to make sure their defense has enough of a breather and they're all on the same page as to how they're going to stop them.
And it smells like the rain's about to come down, so this last quarter of football is going to be a wet one.
You smell rain, can you?
Yeah, part of the big nostrils.
Yeah,
Can't smell
the
anything, so yeah.
temperature's been dropping all day since the first game, and there is dark clouds overhead, so we could start to see some rain pouring down. You can certainly sense it's in the air. So the Spears are continuing with their 3 receiver sets with the tight end and the halfback from the pistol formation. Oh no, it looks like he's going on the center for this play. So he drops back to pass. 51 gets unblocked on the outside. 15 gets open immediately though. And an excellent quick passing play by the Spears there. Just a nice 9-yard pickup.
That was a good, quick 3-yard drop. The second he put that third step down, planted the back foot, and the pass was away. Number 15 got wide open there. It looked like the cornerback was dropping deep just to stop the big play.
Yeah, this is something we don't see from that many other teams. They don't usually follow their drop timings. They usually just hang around the pocket till someone gets open. But the Spears have a lot more quick passes. 7 gets the handoff and he bounces to the outside, gets to the edge, but number 10 does enough to force him out of bounds for a 5-yard gain. So it's now about 3rd and 8 for the Spears. We'll see if they can get a first down and put up their first points of the second half. And they toss it out wide to number 7, who manages to get a hole, brought down for about a 5-yard gain. It looked to be a little bit of a horse collar, but I think he got away with it because he didn't pull him back by it. He just rode him down into the ground.
Yeah, that was a rule instituted into the NFL and the college level. You're not allowed to grab a man by the back of his pads, as it resulted in an ACL tear of an Eagles player in 2005.
And so it looks like they're going to run it up the gut on this play. They've gone to the ISO formation, but oh no, they toss it out wide. But good contain there by the defensive end and the linebackers. They force him out of bounds, and he doesn't look like he got enough to pick up the first down, so a turnover on downs. Good play there by Centurions.
As good as the blocking has been by number 42, the fullback for the Spears, you can't block more than 2 people unless you're really talented, and unfortunately he just couldn't do that, and they forced number 7 out of bounds, no first down.
He's also struggled a bit to get the lead blocks on those outside tosses and stretch plays for the running back, as the running back is quite fast and sometimes the fullback just can't get there ahead of him. And the Centurions run it up the gut for about a 6-yard gain. That was pretty good blocking on that play. And they just managed to run it right up the middle, a pretty decent hole. And the running back just ran straight up it. Interesting that their usual running back did not do that run. He seems to be taken out of the game at the moment and is on the sideline. Looks like they've replaced him with number 21, and they give it to him again. He gets to the outside, and number 18 comes and lays a hit on him, but not after he's gotten a solid 16-yard, about 13-yard gain. Good run.
Not a bad hit from the quarterback. Safety combo, number 18. Stops the run there, but not before they got the first.
Yeah, so after 81's been reasonably ineffective in this half, they've taken him out of the game, or maybe they just took him out to rest him for the other games. So they've given it to 21 again, who's just run it up the middle, pushing the pile. Good power there, and good tenacity to pick up 5 yards when he could have only just gotten stopped for 2. So it looks like this change of pace at running back seems to have helped the Centurions offense right now.
Yeah, as 81 was able to bounce to the outside, it looks like 21 is very good at those gut runs. Since the Spears are lining up horizontally to the line, they haven't got much help up the middle. It looks like they're planning on changing their defensive formation to have a couple more people in that box. Nope, they're still going with the same defensive line.
Yeah, bringing 7 on this play. But one guy gets through, but reasonably good blocking otherwise. I mean, 7 guys come on the blitz, 2 receivers go on the routes, and QB just overthrows the pass. Incomplete.
Looked like he was expecting him to run a streak or a go there, but the receiver was running a post, and it just went way over the top of the cornerback, way over the top of the receiver. Nowhere near either of the plays.
Yeah, it's quite hard to do those deep passes against these corners who already are standing like 10 yards off the receivers. So it's quite a bit of ground to make up and then get past them. Didn't look to be that much movement there, but apparently it's a false start in the Centurions. Obviously got spooked by the linebacker faking the blitz there, and they just false started, wanted to get a quick jump off the ball, but unfortunately did it before the snap happened.
Yeah, it almost looked like the receiver fell over on the play expecting the snap. No snap there, and it caused the penalty. Toss to 81, he's back in the game. Oh! He's broken out. And he's stopped for only a short gain.
And that's more of what 81 did in the first half. He broke about 4 or 5 tackles there, gets to the outside, manages to turn a 5-yard loss into a 2-yard gain, which may not sound by much, but he broke a lot of tackles to get there.
May have only been a 2-yard gain, but if you had watched it, it looked like he had easily run about 30 yards and broke about 4 tackles.
Yeah, the blocking was not that good on that play. There's just pressure on the outside, which forced him inside, and then just monstered from up the inside. So had to reverse the field and managed to turn that into a decent run. Now the Centurions to punt the ball. They've obviously given up on winning the game, but it's a decent punt. It's down into about the 12-yard line. So inside the 20, it's a good punt. So still no score yet in this half. Both defenses have been playing quite strongly. Both offenses have been able to move the ball a little bit, but they've always got their drive stalled at some point or another. And there's been an interception thrown by the Spears QB, and the rest are a lot of failed 4th downs by them. It looks like the Spears have gone back to their original formation, which was 2 wide, 1 tight end, and split backs. And they had the ball. They toss it out to number 7. 42 comes on the lead block, but he misses the block unfortunately, and the linebacker had a good chance to make that play for about a 3-yard run, but misses the tackle, and the running back runs for an extra 6 yards and gets about a 9-yard gain on this play. Yeah, that was actually a first down, so my apologies, not 9, but he actually got 10 yards on the run. Centurions linebacker had contained and he broke the block of the fullback but just missed the tackle. Looks like the Centurions have gone to 2 deep safeties. They're running it to the right. 42 gets a decent block, I guess. 42 gets pushed backward, but 37 put a big hit on him, but just Pass was more worried about putting a hit on the blocker than actually getting the tackle.
See the Centurions sideline getting very pumped up. If only they had gotten pumped up a bit sooner before they were 24-0.
Yeah, they've been reasonably vocal on some big plays, but they haven't been that vocal in general. They're a bit reliant on the big plays, and then they're vocal for about one play, and then they go silent. So you'd want to see them being vocal for more time than that. And then he fakes it to the fullback, runs forward, and gets the first down. So quarterback fakes it to the fullback, keeps it, runs around to the left, and picks up 5 yards for a first down. And that play's worked pretty well for them this game.
Yeah, the Centurions are still biting on that first read. They see the first person getting the ball handed to them, and they believe that's the person getting the ball. The quarterback and number 7 have both capitalized on this play, as the Centurions have been trying to tackle 42.
Yeah, they hand it off to the running back again. He's got a reasonable amount of room down the middle. He jukes to the outside. And maybe he just should have kept on going to the outside. Looks like he had a lot of room there, but tried to come back to the inside and only got a 6-yard gain when I feel like if he stayed to the outside, he could have gotten a lot more there.
Well, sometimes you just don't have the vision that we do from up here. If he had seen the outside lane, he probably would have taken it, but he still made some yards. Big 7-yard gain.
Yeah, some excellent moves there to just juke past defenders. So he did a good work getting that far, but they give it to number 42 this time, and he's a train moving, and he picked up some speed there, and he's just gotten a solid 14-yard gain on the play. Just very hard to bring down when he gets up speed like that.
42, usually a blocking player. It's good to see the big man running up the gut for a massive gain like that. That's a lot we don't see in the NFL these days, a big running back, a fullback taking the ball as often. It's good to see 42 doing one for the big guys.
Yeah, it reminds me of a run by the Wildcats against the Tornadoes where a big guy got the ball, but then one of the linebackers just came through and just took out his legs for a short gain. Except this time, there was no linebacker there, just ran straight through the hole, punished the secondary who tried to tackle him, and made 14 yards.
Yeah, I remember that hit. I heard it, way out of the stadium. I'm sure people heard it down at the Hyperdome. The guy lost all of his air and had to limp off the sideline. He won't be doing that very soon against the Tornadoes.
So yeah, there's a timeout at the moment. So I've gone for quite a while, actually. I expect it to be called already, but timeout's still going. They're just deciding what play they're going to do. And And they signaled us the end of the timeout. Now 1st and 10 for the Spears as they look to drive down the field and put up their first points of the half. So he takes the snap, fakes it to the fullback and keeps it round to the left again. He's continuously done that and picks them up 5 to 10 yards every play.
When each of your running backs are getting this type of average every time they touch the ball, that you're pretty much unstoppable. You've got the quarterback who's running on those quarterback keepers. You got the fullback running up the gut for 10-yard clips, and you got number 7 to the outside bouncing out and still getting about 10 yards. They look unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, this drive's been a good blend of different runs, but no passes yet. But their running game's been so successful, they haven't really needed to. Looks like number 32's in at running back instead of 7 on this play. And he gets the ball, he breaks the first tackle, tosses it out as he's going down, gets it out to number 42, who didn't look like he was expecting it, but they managed to grab another 7 yards and the first down, but a flag comes flying in extremely late as the Centurions player looks to be in a lot of pain on the ground.
Looks like unnecessary roughness on 75. He came in a bit late. Just completely leveled one of the Centurions while he wasn't looking. If you,
Yep, it's a personal foul by 75 on the offense, who's just come in late and just cleaned them up. And it looks like it may have some serious consequences as a Centurions player is down injured. It's not what you want to see.
yeah, when you're ahead, you don't need to go after the players. You don't need to injure any of the players. You're up 24-0 and you're driving down to the end zone. You're just going to hurt your team. You're going to hurt the other team, and it's going to benefit nobody.
Yeah, and it's not what we like to see. The Centurions player is still down, obviously in a lot of pain. It's not looking good at the moment. Hopefully he's not too seriously injured, but he's been down for a long time. Yeah, again, 75 seems quite upset with the call, but he came in fairly late and just cleaned up the pile, and you never want to see penalties result in injuries.
From face masks to horse collars and unnecessary roughness, the whistle had been called and he just leveled the guy. There's no way around it. He's trying to argue the penalty. It was a late hit and he just needs to accept it, take the penalty, and hopefully the Centurions player will be all right. It's number 37. Hopefully he'll recover quickly and he'll be okay.
He's up on his feet, but it appears to be an arm injury. He's cradling one of his arms. Doesn't look like he's really moving it, so possibly a dislocated shoulder, perhaps. He's not moving that shoulder at all.
If it is a dislocated shoulder, that could mean the end to his season, and he looks to be one of the good cornerbacks for the Centurions, so this could be a big loss for him and for their team.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. That's number 37's the injured player. At least he's walking off, but yeah, it does appear to be quite a serious arm injury to his right arm. And back to the game. That penalty has pushed the Spears back to now 2nd and 10. And we'll see if they just continue to run it on this drive, which has been so successful for them. And they toss it out to number 7, and they do the reverse to 15. Flags fly in everywhere. 15's got tons of space, though. runs down the sideline, empty lane to the end zone. 18 punishes number 77 trying to come along, and it's a touchdown. But I think this may come back as 3 flags through simultaneously around where the blockers were.
Did you see number 18's block on that one? Man's a quarterback. He shouldn't be allowed to block that hard. We're going to be looking for this play to come back, and it's a repeat of second down.
It looks like the call on that was holding by the offense, and that's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Bringing up 2nd and 20 should be. Oh no, my apologies. It's 15 yards. Oh no, never mind. The umpire got it wrong. It's 10 yards.
A little confusion with the officials there. It's still putting the Spears back at about 20 yards from getting a first down with only on their second down.
Yeah, so that's one penalty that cost them a first down and another one that just then that cost them a touchdown. So it's interesting how the roles are reversed between the two teams. In the first half, Centurions were penalised consistently, and now the Spears have just been penalised the whole second half. So number 32's in at quarterback now, not number 18. It's a bit of an interesting mix-up. But number 18 gets the ball, and he goes to pass it deep. He did not throw that particularly well, but it gets there. 15 picks up the ball and runs away, but number 44 is just fast enough to catch up and clip his legs. Excellent acceleration there by 15. He almost outran 44 despite having a sprinting start. And that's the game. Spears almost pick up a touchdown on the last play of the game, but they fall short. And that is the game. The score is 24 to the Spears, Centurions 0. The Centurions in the purple and the Spears were in the gold.
So we saw a bit of trickery that game, and it worked. Lots of fake handoffs, a lot of play action, and even on that last play, a toss to the quarterback so he could pass. It was a very interesting game, both teams going up and down the field, but in the end, penalties cost both of the teams. We could have seen another touchdown by the Spheres, and we've seen over 100 penalty yards by the Centurions today.
Yeah, after first half that was 24-0. The Centurions defense really tightened down and managed to stop the Spears from scoring in the second half, but by then the damage was done, and if the offense can't score any points, then you're not going to win a game.
Yeah, and I was wondering what happened to 81 during his first half. He had great running, great yards per attempt, and he just seemed to drop off and become a bit of a non-factor in the second half, which is a bit of a shame to see from a talented player.
Yeah, I think he got hit a lot and maybe just got worn down. Didn't have as much juice in his legs towards the end of the second half. But yeah, that's the final game of the day in the ACT Gridiron League. Just recapping the scores. The Wildcats lost to the Firebirds 60-0, and the Spears beat the Centurions 24-0. My name's Rory, and joining me was Jason, and this has been the ACT Gridiron League.
Nice. Yep.